Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Desert Spirit Chronicles. My name is Dan Stafford, the creator of the website and your host for this channel. I have a little bit of an update today. I've been working on the website, which is brand new. Of course, I just got the website done about 3 o'clock in the morning today, and a YouTube channel created as well. This is an idea I've had cooking for about a month or so, and I'm going to be doing, as I said in the earlier episode, that I'm going to be doing updates on people and news and stuff about like small towns out in the Mojave Desert, particularly Route 66, Route 80, that type of thing. Um, I have a lot to do because there's a lot to cover out there. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of cool and interesting stuff. So I'm gonna hop over and share my screen a little bit. We'll get a little bit of infinity screen there, and then let me get over to Google Chrome. This is the website I've been building, and in particular, I'm on a page about the Mojave Desert cities and towns. Now, just real briefly, this picture that you see in the header of the site is actually a picture that I took myself. That is not, there's no effects or anything. That is actually what it looked like when I was out there for work. I stopped and took a quick picture because to me, this is one of the most iconic views in the desert Southwest right here. This is Kelbaker Road going this way, and down this way a little bit, it'll meet with Old Route 66, and to the right is Amboy, and to the left is Cadiz, and then the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad runs out here just past Route 66. The road going 66 going towards Cadiz is closed right now. There's about 16 bridge washouts, 15 or 16. You have to be able to four-wheel drive to go around the bridges where they're out because it's of previous flash floods. As I understand, that section of Old 66 from Kelbaker Road going over to Interstate 40 is about probably 20, 25, 30 miles is has been closed for something on the order of 10 years. I've actually been out on that portion of 66, but that's a whole different video and a whole different story. We'll get into that. So, Mojave Desert Cities and Towns is a list I'm compiling, starting with cities and towns that I know about personally. Some I've been to, some I've only just heard of. Um, some I've been near or past. I haven't had a chance to explore, obviously, every one of these. Um, what I'm doing here is if you see the town link with a separate Wikipedia link, then what I'm doing is there's a link that's more appropriate to the town itself, and then the more detailed Wikipedia information about the town. If you just see a town link like this, more than likely I'm using Wikipedia. And if you look down in the lower left corner of the screen, you'll see when I hover over Baker, it's a Wikipedia entry. So I'm trying to give you the most interesting things I can about the town. Well, I'm going to give you a little, for instance, on Goffs, California, right? There's a Wikipedia entry. I listed that it's a ghost town. And then there's an entry about the Goff Schoolhouse, which has been renovated and turned into a museum. So, as you can see, I have a lot of work left to do just finding websites for these towns. And I am going to invite people to send me suggestions on the contact us page, um, so that you can, update me on towns that should be included in this list. Because obviously, there's an awful lot of towns out there that I don't know about and haven't been to. I've only been in Southern California now for about 10 years. I worked in the high desert for a year. I was up there mostly for work, so I had a specific route that I was on most of the time. So my chances for exploration up there are kind of limited, or were, but it still was some really amazing turf, and I put on 70,000 miles on my work truck in 2023 covering the high desert. So I was up there a lot during on that route. So there's going to be a lot coming. I'm going to be doing stories and stuff on my time up there, things that I ran into and saw up in the desert. I'll be doing posts on the blog with pictorials and probably YouTube voiceovers on those. Um, and while I'm talking about that, I'm going to go to the home page here, and this is our channel intro that's up there. But I did an article here on how I got hooked on the Mojave Desert. Um, so yeah, just saying I like Christmas a little bit, but it was kind of a chain of things that got me to come out here. Um, yeah, I was working in downtown Chicago. I'd been there for 21 and a half years, a little bit burned out. Um, we had grandchildren that were living in California. We wanted to be here while they were little kids. We wound up coming out to visit and then wound up staying in at a small winery resort hotel in Temecula, California. And my wife and I both loved it. We thought that we could live here and still be within range to be involved in our granddaughters' lives. So we ended up taking the plunge, sold everything lock, stock, and barrel. I left the job as I wasn't able to get a transfer and moved here. Started a small computer repair business did that for 3 years. Taught IT for about 4 years and then got hired back in telecommunications in late 2022. Basically the same company I had been working for in Chicago, so it took me 8 years to get a transfer. That was interesting. And then I was hired to cover the high desert. Now I have since transferred down to the San Diego market, so I'm way in Southern California now, not the far southern, southwestern part of it. And I'm still seeing some interesting stuff out in the desert, even around here, because Temecula is still technically part of the Mojave Desert. But work got me up there, and I saw some interesting things. All right, this was flash flooding out on Goffs Road, which is old Highway 66 between Goffs and Fenner after the cyclone in 2023. There's a ton of water pouring in over here from the left. This car is stuck in the water, stalled out. There's four-wheel drives and semis. A four-wheel made it through. I ended up getting through because I-40 is off this direction. You had to go the direction I'm facing here in the picture to get out to Interstate 40 and get back. I was able to make it through. I was in a Ford F-250 Super Duty with four-wheel drive. Um, this is a shot of the town of Amboy with lightning strike behind it, backlighting the town of Amboy from the same cyclone a little bit later on. So and that was a pretty wild storm. I have a bunch of other pictures. I'm going to do a separate story on that later. But yeah, I got me out in the desert and I saw a lot of fantastic things and kind of fell in love with the Mojave Desert. And I'd like to learn more about it. I'd like to learn about the people out here and do stories on the towns and cities and the people that are out in the desert and go out exploring in the desert because there's a lot of interesting stuff I see around the web. So that's what this YouTube channel is going to be more or less about. And back to the cities and towns of California, I've got a list of pages over here, Mojave Desert cities and towns, and that'll take you to the list. I'm still working on building out the links. I have a long way to go. I'm down through G, and I'm sure I'll be adding towns and cities as I hear about them or get advised about them. I may reference on other pages Huell Hauser videos. I've watched a ton of those. There's some interesting ones there. He actually owned owned a house on top of a volcano out in Newberry Springs. Matter of fact, that reminds me I should probably put something up about the Amboy crater on here as well. But that's another thing for another time. So I wanted to update everyone. This is where I'm at right now. I have a long way to go with this website. There's a lot more that I want to add, but I want to make this a nice resource for Mojave Desert travelers and people interested in the Mojave Desert and all the wonderful, interesting things that are out here where a lot of people think there's nothing. And there is so much cool stuff. So I'd like to ask everyone to be safe out there if you're running around out in the desert. And otherwise, have a good rest of your weekend, and thank you for watching. And if you would, uh, maybe hit like and subscribe. I'm gonna pop back over here and get on the cam. Uh, you know, hit like and subscribe on the channel, please. It'll help. And if you want to go to the website, it's Desert Spirit, sorry, Mojave Desert Spirit Chronicles. I better pop back over there for a second. DesertSpiritChronicles.blogspot.com. I'm gonna try and get a website for it soon, um, so it'll shorten it up a bit. But in the meantime, DesertSpiritChronicles.blogspot.com will get you to the site. And on that note, thank you again, and so stay safe out there and enjoy the view.